Panera now delivers, so you can order good, clean food right to your office, or door, or porch, or backyard, or front yard, or apartment, or dorm, or castle, or shop, or worksite, or wherever Panera delivers. For lunch, dinner, and everywhere in between. Click the banner to order or visit PaneraBread.com. Participating locations only. Panera. Food as it should be.
No BS. No BS. Job Search Advice Radio, episode 1013. So let me do that again. 1113. I'm your host, Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome. Today's show is about your value and understanding your value and how it can play out in your negotiations with a firm. Hope you use this technique and understand it well, and hope you apply it in your negotiations, and also hope you give it 5 stars in Apple Music and other places that you'll listen to the show. This was originally recorded as a video while I was traveling, so the audio isn't perfect, but I'm sure you'll find it good enough. Now with that, let's get going. And this video is entitled Your Worth, because your worth is one of the things that people consistently undervalue. And they do so for one very simple reason. They don't understand their value. They go into the job market and they decide they're looking for a percentage increase over what they previously earned without making any comparisons. Now, comparisons have values, and I understand that employers will try to attempt to value you based upon previous salary. After all, they are not going to take a $65,000 person and pay them $135,000, are they? Well, not unless you go into consulting first and establish yourself as making $65 to, shall we say, $90 an hour, in which case at 65 you're making $130, at 90 you're making $180, and then they try and drop you down from there. So what can you do to establish your value? And the first thing is you need to establish it in your own mind. You need to understand how you compare with others. And you're not going to find that out online. You're going to find that out by talking to hiring managers at other organizations to get a sense of how they would value you and your skills without telling them necessarily what that you're looking for a job, but you're just trying to get a sense of how they might evaluate you. So, for example, you don't tell them what you're currently earning. Instead, you ask them to interview you to get a sense of what your capabilities are and how they might assess you. Got that? That's a more valuable benchmark than any sort of online survey that you'd ever read. After all, the surveys are very limited. They offer a job title, they may offer a skill set, but there's no depth in that. So for example, if you're in IT and it says Java developer, what does that really say? There are tons of other tools that go along with that, right? So how do you get that sense? So the first place is internally, so that this way you are persuasive with someone else. Then from there, I think the second place is during the waiting. A lot of job hunters do things that devalue themselves, and it occurs during the waiting process. They become anxious. They really want it. Desperation comes across, and kind of like the guy or girl in a dating situation who's waiting by the phone, pining for that person to call them to the point where they turn into a stalker. Hey, when are you going to call me? When are you going to call me? Call me. Hey! And they call like 4 or 5 different times in a short period of time to try and flush out the person that they've been out with. Well, you don't want to come across as being desperate. Desperation doesn't work, does it? You don't like it if you walked into a car dealership and the person just tried to push you into buying that car, right? Or if they were selling you life insurance and they tried to push you into buying a policy. Employers don't like it. Hiring managers don't like it. So why do you act desperate? You have to control yourself And the best way to do that is to go out on more dates. And by dates here, I mean interviews, so that you, again, get a sense of your value. You get a sense of how others will perceive you, and you engender more interest in you. The more interest you get, the better you will feel, the more value you will have, and the more persuasiveness you will have in talking to others, communicating your value. See, it's not just enough that you know your value. That's the starting place. You need to learn how to convince other people of your value. And the first way to do it is with your attitude. Your attitude says a lot to an employer. It says, hey, look, I'd love to work for you, but there are other fish in the sea too. Just like they carry with you, right? When they say, hey, look, we'd love to hire you, but we're going to talk to 25 more people before we circle back and maybe ask you out again. Well, you've got to have your equivalent as well. So that's today's show. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, here are a few ways to engage with me. First of all, I just want to start by saying that I no longer do recruiting. I coach people to perform at a high level. So again, I no longer do recruiting. But if you visit my website, which is thebiggamehunter.us, and look at the tabs on the top, you'll see a menu of choices available to you. First of all, you can hire me to do a resume and or LinkedIn profile critique, interview preparation, help you with a salary negotiation, answer your questions about your job search, advise you about a decision you have to make about a job offer. Those are all there as an option. I can do a job search makeover with you, where we critique everything you've been doing in your search up until that point and come up with alternatives. If you're relatively early in your search, we can do a complete coaching program where I work with you from beginning to end in half-hour increments so it doesn't have to take a lot of time for each session. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/thebiggamehunter. Mention that you listen to the show because I love hearing from folks who like it and are interested in my help. Again, linkedin.com/IN/thebiggamehunter. You can take my classes on Skillshare too and become a premium member for 99 cents for the first few months. I have a link in the show notes. Just follow that link, sign up, take my classes. Lastly, I want to mention to you, you can find a lot of information at thebiggamehunter.us, and at times it may seem like it's too much. So you can look at the best of my material at jobsearchcoachinghq.com, where I've curated information that you can watch, listen to, or read to help you find work more quickly. Again, that's jobsearchcoachinghq.com. I'll be back tomorrow with more, and in the meantime, I hope you have a great day. Take care.
It only takes one sip of an ice-cold summer drink from McDonald's to get you from cleaning the kitchen to paddleboarding on the ocean and having a dolphin swim up to you who leads you to a secluded island where you meet your soulmate who says,
those dishes won't do themselves.
With so many flavors, where will your sip take you?
This summer, come to McDonald's and try a refreshing $2 small McCafe drink, like a frozen strawberry lemonade or a $1 any size soft drink. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.